Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Rich Walsh alongside Paul Zeise for tonight's show. Give us a call, 412-575-2600 on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline. A big night, a lot to talk about right now. Maybe the biggest story is going on KDKA right now. Baltimore Ravens are losing. They're not losing. They're getting pounded by the Tennessee Titans. And we actually talked about it on the show that, you know, if there are a couple teams out there that could beat the Ravens, I thought the Steelers always had a chance because of the rivalry. But the Titans are set up to potentially beat a team like the Ravens.
Yeah, and I tell you, I think one of the things that got the ball rolling for the Titans, John Harbaugh going for it on fourth down early in the game. There was no reason to on his own side of the field. I know that they do it all year. I keep hearing people, well, they do that all year long. It's the playoffs. It's different, completely different. You're down 7-0 already. You don't want to give them a long field. I mean, a short field if you don't make it. It's stupid. And of course, they don't make it. Titans' next play score, it's 14-0. And why that's significant is because now they could dictate how the game was going to be played. When they're up 14-0. See, the Ravens, when they get leads, they would run all over people, right? And then they could, they could just, it would become downhill, and they could dictate the game. Well, you're down 14-0, guess what?
Well,
you can't dictate it anymore.
You're going to get a big dose of Derrick Henry, and that's what you're seeing here right now. And then Ryan Tannehill just ran it in there just a little bit ago, and the Titans are winning this, and it looks like they're going to run away with it almost. But, we'll see what happens. We still have a quarter to play, but I'm not surprised by this. I actually thought the Chiefs were going to beat the Ravens. But, just think about it. If the Steelers, win those games, Buffalo and the Jets, the Titans aren't even in this position to get into the postseason. Right. It's crazy how this happens sometimes. And if you're hot at the right time, and the Titans got hot at the end of the season, winning games.
Well, yeah,
in big ways.
I think one of the things I said, is in my mind that Titans were better than the Steelers, so they deserve to be in the playoffs more than the Steelers. This was like with 3 weeks left or whatever, that I thought the Titans were better than the Steelers. So it doesn't surprise me they got in. It really, doesn't surprise me all that much that they beat New England last week, does it? I mean, New England. They were on fumes. You knew New England with the number 2 seed on the line, losing to Miami, that there was a lot going on up there.
Yeah.
Probably, so that didn't shock me that much. This I don't want to say shocks me that they're winning. It shocks me that they're killing the Ravens.
And it makes you wonder what's going to happen in New England. And there's going to be some changes. I can't see Tom Brady playing for anyone else, but maybe he wants to prove.
Yeah.
He tweeted that picture, Instagram that picture about respect. So maybe he wants to prove that he can win somewhere else, or maybe he's trying to do this to get them to sign some playmakers, because he doesn't have too many playmakers there on the offense. So it's surprising they did what they did this year.
They would need some, they would definitely need some playmakers.
All right, speaking of playmakers, the Steelers had a ton of those back in the day, and the guy that oversaw everyone was Bill Cowher, and he gets the call to the hall today. That was a pretty special moment how they did that, Paul. I mean, I was completely surprised by it, but I thought I had a good feeling about Cowher getting in as one of those 2 coaches of the 8 of the finalists for that Centennial class. They're going to take 2 coaches, 3 contributors, and then 10 senior players. And Donnie Shaw has a good chance to get in too. They'll find out on Wednesday.
Right. I don't know if I like the way they did it, to be honest. I think that a moment like that, you probably don't want to take a guy by surprise. I think, you want that to be a moment with his family, a private moment. It's cool, and I understand what they did, but I'm not.
Has everyone talking about it? I mean, if it was just another day, no one would be talking about it. It's a huge trending story right now.
People would still be talking about it. If they announced today that Bill Cowher was in, we'd still be talking about it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing about it is I've always thought he was a really, really good football coach that probably was just below what a Hall of Famer would be. I kind of felt like, he needed to win just a little bit more.
Win those big games? Is that what you're saying?
Games,
those AFC championships?
One more of those AFC title games. Especially the San Diego one, the Denver one. There's some AFC.
The ones that they were supposed to win, I mean, they were favored by what? I don't know the exact 13 or something against San Diego.
Even the first New England one.
They were favored in that game,
the
too.
2 block kicks or whatever.
That was the Troy Brown?
Whatever, yeah, that game.
Yeah.
I mean, win one of those 3 or 2 of those 3, it changes his profile altogether. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. He is. I just always thought, 1 Super Bowl title, he's probably just below a Hall of Fame.
Well, there's some good names on that list. Jimmy Johnson, Marv Levy lost 4, right?
Yeah.
So, those are guys that now.
But again, he was 4-0 in AFC title games.
Yeah,
so,
he was. He lost the Super Bowls.
People forget. Okay, he's 0-4 in Super Bowls. He's 4-0 in AFC title games, which is pretty good.
412-575-2600 is the number on the Bordeson hotline. So give us a call. We're coming back in about a couple minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.